Hello there, my name's Toby. This is my first post. I've been writing poetry for about 10 years odd, really off and on. Sometimes I'll go a long period of time without writing anything at all. But when the momentum gets up there and I start writing more and then start getting it out there and people say I should start doing stuff with it, it always falls by the wayside. So this is simply trying to find another way to get my stuff out there. It's also on a website called Scribd. I'm sure a lot of people who will watch this will probably know it. If not, it's www.scribd.com and search for twilson.biz on People. I'm going to do 3 contrasting poems. A couple of them are really like spoken word. Spoken word's something that I'm trying to get into more, but I do like to write stuff that there's a big argument between whether it should be said or whether it should just be read. Because, some people have really varying opinions on what they think should be read and what they think should be said. The first one as well, I just got to say, is inspired by an amazing spoken word practitioner, as it were, called Kate Tempest. A poem called Cannibal Kids. It's absolutely amazing. And any feedback would be really cool, because I am looking to take this on. I'm going to be putting more out there as well. Some of my poetry, as I say, I won't actually do in a spoken form because of the way that it's structured on the page. It should be read, it adds something to it. But then again, maybe you'll read it and say, no, that could be said out loud. So, first one is called Bittersweet Golgotha. The pen is mightier than the sword, only when it cuts with imageries, imaginaries that can sunderize mass conventional cancerous unimprovements. Cancers like capitalism, with its sickening vision that promotes a scope of stepping on throats to money grab, money get, a set that begets respect of any sect, any nation, any identity. All it wants to do is own the world so we can be used as kindling, ash turned in the fires of their growth. But we appease the gods of mass consumer killing, Starbucks, McDonald's, Nike, these programmable symbolisms that cause swimming visions of what I need, what I'll get, while Palestine turns into a pockmarked crater of unrepresented casualties and the world loses its respect. And the kids in the street cannot eat. And the child in the dust cannot cry. And every single day, cholera causes 30,000 dehydrated innocents to expire. Oh, I wish I had that funny feeling inside. Not a shattered exterior center protected by pride. I wish I had that fuzzy warm feeling in my tummy, not a broken trust in a fucked up society. For the grass is greener on the other side. Tell that to the young ones. Tell that to the humdrum society's lost bums. Tell that to the child soldier, AK-47 at the shoulder, mother being defiled and murdered for reasons much older than the use of weapons, as long as there has been misconceptions. Short-sighted, one-coloured, blood-smothered, power-hungry human specks, these people who aren't people. To call upon genericism has them clothed robe praying to a steeple. These are mass converters, mass controllers, child trafficking, soul-selling saints of sullied, sinful, sacrifice-shutting soldiers. Soldiers in a bad sense. Not vehicles of recompense. Not soldiers for good. Not soldiers for right. Not soldiers of freedom. Soldiers of rape. Soldiers of conquest. Soldiers of the promotion of apathy. Soldiers of the violation of truth, the byproduct of the Hitler Youth. Youth in the then. Youth in the now, with blood-stained hands and bags on their heads. And the hypocrites lie in the grasses like snakes, ready to strike with back-facing objectives. Sidling up with a slither to your side, hand you aid with the right and rape and pillage your country with the left. But we are all hypocrites. me and you and I, us and them, at least to some degree, doesn't make them right. Doesn't always make us wrong. To write these verse-filled, verb-fueled, pacified protest musings that'll cause no change. For if ever an action comes from a reactionist thought brought forth by this benign band, catalyst intending, black and white alliteration spanned, indentation, then you brought it forth. You are great. You are change. You are noble. You are. You are. You. Cool, I've got to stop slapping my legs. Second piece is an experimentation with language, so it's very different, hopefully. It's called Abuse in Two Parts. Part 1. Once there was a stoked, banked forge internal. A prickling, sickling sapling of encumbering recalcitrance. Tortuous, imprisoning entity it was. A wishful thinking bud of barbarous confinement, let loose in a moment of time-lent loss. Righteous tendrils spouting forth with force. Want not, have not, arms run forth to cover the ground. A soaking, choking forget-me-not of earth smothering shame. What is shame? Thick-skinned, burrowing vermin, determined to dig up or uproot, if you will, the will of good people and kill the rest. An unbearable, thorless floor, boring its way like malicious worms through the very fabric of our world. Left in their wake is nothing but a gelatinous loop, a primordial soup of startling ignorance, the black social stigma of the marauding masses, the wanton destruction of the assessed, unsuppressed, suppressed, repressed jest of jovial human nature. Part 2. A blight of biblical scale in one so young can crush the rush of synaptic progress. Daughter. Please stop afflicting me. Please stop your mental plague-bearing corporeal barrage. I can't take it anymore. Father. Shut up, you cunt. Do you perceive that within your singular bodily vessel, perfected evolution of protein explosion made to be the first scorned by a matching creation of DNA? Have you the vision to discern how some ambivalent, indifferent, fleshy human constructs can justify prohibited incestual relations, can attack with whispered, wretched, boundary-crashing, vehement peaks, attesting for their own quagmerical upbringing by ejaculating their indentured malice upon the redeeming features of their young? Surely their experience-born worrying should give them a want to crush tribal oppression, putting a locked, unpopped stopper at a possible repeat of this malady. But alas, Father, grasp upon this here modesty-cracking rod. Smooth out its creases with a rush of swelling blood. Dark. Last one, the Inglorious Dead. A boy lay down in a field. A boy lay down to die. A boy lay down in the chaff from the corn, in the silent brother rye. A boy lay down to die. A boy lay down to rest his head wrapped up in silent earthworm cries. A boy lay down, no pillow, no stead. A boy lay down, no quilt, earth cover. A boy lay down in a field. A boy lay down to die. Remember us, the inglorious dead. Remember those who lie, the unsung martyrs in weather-worn beds, said the boy in the field, said the boy who lay down and died. Cheers, thanks. I will try and post some more up soon. Comments would be really appreciated, and thank you if you have managed to sit through all of that. Cheers.